So today I want to talk about my absolute favorite tools that I use for almost every single one of my projects to achieve my dream alternative wardrobe. Stick around until the end to discuss the ethics of buying tools to avoid buying fast fashion. If you watch my upcycling videos, you know that I am obsessed with these Eyelet pliers. I paid £15 for them and it came with 500 of these eyelets. It is the easiest tool to use and the most versatile because you can add them to just about anything to give them a little bit of that edge. Now that spikes are banned from metal shows, eyelets are pretty much the next best thing. You can also buy these little tools to set the eyelets in with the hammer, although I never really got used to using them. So I kind of just bit the bullet and bought this one instead because it's a lot more convenient and easy to use. This is my newest addition to the collection and it became my fast favorite because I make a lot of bracelet cuffs and I like them to look a little bit more professional, you know, a little more aesthetically pleasing. So these were perfect. They also use a hammer setting tool and it's slightly annoying to get used to, but a whole lot easier than the eyelets. And it's a lot cheaper than buying the actual tool for it. This was about £5. You can buy the actual tool for it, although I don't think it's worth the money. I bought the wrong one, the wrong studs, so I'll have to buy the right ones, I guess. But the ones I've seen are running for about £30. And unless you're doing a lot of these snap fasteners, I don't think you need it. The hammer one would do just fine. Alternatively, you can also buy the sew-on ones. They're relatively cheap. The ones I bought, these were like £2. And they're like cute and tiny, comes in different colors. The only annoying thing about them is that you do have to hand sew them on and it just takes ages. So as you can see, I didn't use a lot of them. My next favorite is this hole punch and I love her so much, so much. I use her all the time, especially because for any of the studs, any of the eyelets, you will need a hole to insert it in and this is very helpful. I also use it on my faux leather as well, of course, because it's a leather punch kit. But I think this is the tool that I use the most out of all of them. I bought it in a craft shop for about £5, so it was definitely worth the money. An even cheaper solution to a hole punch would be scissors, or this tool right here. I kind of forgot the name of it, so I'm just gonna put that on the screen. These ones I didn't expect to use as much as I do, and it's tweezers. These ones specifically are my favorite because they have really, really sharp endings. I mainly use these to distress denim, like pulling out all the little strings at the edges to make them raw. And the pliers are very useful when you need to open a whole lot of jump rings to add chains to things. One of the essentials that I have that I didn't expect it to become my favorite and making me really lazy is glue. I've got this shoe glue that I use for more leathery things because it's literally so liquidy. And then I also have fabric glue, although I'm not sure where I put it. Glue made my upcycling process so much quicker because usually when it comes to patches or more fiddly fabrics, I do a running stitch around by hand and then I go around again with a sewing machine. But with glue, I just have to glue it down, wait a minute or two, and then go around it with my sewing machine. And glue is cheap. I think fabric glue costs about £4 or £5. The shoe glue, I think, might be a bit more expensive, but you don't need a lot of it and it lasts a long time. And I've got an honorable mention just because I don't use it all that much, so it's not really an essential, but I love the concept of it, and it is this hand sewing tool which helps you evenly space out your stitches. I've been doing a little bit more hand sewing just because I want to keep the skill alive, so this has been revolutionary for me. If you have any friends that just got into sewing, I think this would be a very cute gift. A really common question I've been getting on my short form content lately is, well, the tools you have aren't ethically made either, and to that I say, probably not, because that's the whole point. The whole fashion industry is inherently flawed and exploitative, which is why I personally try to reduce my impact as much as possible by making and upcycling my own clothes. My specific style isn't exactly common or popular in the thrift shops, so the only options I have is buying it new first hand, which is something I just don't do. I can go for second-hand marketplaces, but they are covered in fast fashion marketed as vintage or one of a kind and price gouged the hell out of. Or the secret third option, which is what I go for, is buying the tools once and then upcycling endless clothing into custom pieces that suit my aesthetic perfectly. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that we're all doing our best. You know, we all have different lives, different lifestyles, different access to different things. I am a self-proclaimed imperfect activist, so I support the littlest of changes that you're willing to make, right? Because at the end of the day, it is the billionaires and the governments and the systems that's the problem. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Check out my upcycled fashion playlist if you like to see how I use these tools and many others, and I hope that they will be helpful on your sustainable fashion journey. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to see more, and I hope I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.